Hey everyone, welcome to tonight's Q&A call on Rank It and Bank It. And I know it's the first one, so people may not be aware quite how to do this or not, but it's pretty simple. You just come here on your computer by the link and enter the number, or you call in and put your passcode in here. If you need to speak, everybody will be on mute. All you have to do is hit *6, and that gives you an opportunity to unmute yourself and talk. Then when you finish, you put yourself back on mute, if you would, so that any background noise, dogs barking, babies crying, cats meowing, roosters crowing, or whatever is going on in your background goes away. So, again, my name's Renfro. Thanks for being here, and I'm just going to go ahead and do an introductory Q&A tonight about some things so that you can be aware of kind of where this is all going. You should see on our screen our Rank It asset for page 1, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that. We're going to be talking about that tonight, and so I just kind of want to put that out there for people to understand where we're going and what we're trying to do with this process. Okay, I don't know who that is, but I can't hear you. If you want to unmute yourself, hit *6, and you can let us know who's here. Whoever the 720-517-6283.
Scott Johnson, 720.
Yeah, okay, Scott. Glad to have you, man. Appreciate you being here. It was a little garbled in the beginning, but it's cool. All right. So I'm going to put you back on mute, man. All right, thank you. All right, so when we talk about this process of ranking your asset is a key component for you being able to get on the first page of Google to your local business market. Okay, because that's where you're going to, as a brick and mortar business. Now, if are a product or a service company, that's where your business is going to come from. Now, if you're a global or internet, global or nationwide company, it still works. It's just there's some other ways to do it. So we're going to talk about how to make this work. So far our assignments have been to get a Gmail account that matches, right? Get a Gmail account matches. Take that Gmail account and get a Google My Business account, right? Set up for your business. That's key. Because you need to get the postcard in the mail, okay? You get the postcard in the mail so you can verify that business, because that verification is going to be the key to most everything you do on the local level. And we're going to show you how to really build that out with some other assets. So kind of tonight's discussion is about any questions you might have about where this is going, how this works, okay? Things that you might be wondering about your own local business, something you're trying to do or something you'd like to know how to do for what we're going to be talking about over the next 20 or so lessons, right? So our number one assignment that we had, of course, was listen to how does a business owner think, okay? Because when we talk about business-to-business sales, very different than business to customer sales. So you need to be aware of both of them. I think most people are aware of the business to customer because we're customers. We buy stuff as a customer. But most of us don't buy stuff from one business owner to the other. And that's a very different psychology. Okay? So if you are selling a service to a business, there are things you have to understand about another business owner, like you would understand about yourself. If you work out of your home, you may not be as prone to understand how a business owner that works at a brick and mortar store thinks or operates. Okay, so we might talk a little bit about that if you have questions about that. And so that's kind of how we put this process together to get to say, okay, how do I move from that to becoming something that's ranking locally for what people in my community are going to buy. As I said earlier today in today's training is you have to get over your company name. You have to get over your fancy website, okay? You have to get over, you want to rank for your business, okay, because most people aren't going to know the name of your business. Matter of fact, they're going to be looking for a service or a product. That's what you want to rank for, and you want to rank for the terms they're using to find that, to solve their problem. Two things. People want to solve a problem, and they're either doing it because it gives them status. Okay, I'm going to go find the highest price basketball shoes I can find, because when I do, everybody's going to think I'm king of the world. Or I'm going to buy that red Corvette because then I can have sex with every woman that comes along. Okay, that's the motivation behind most people buying a sports car, is so they look cool, so they'll be attracted to them, so they can manipulate it from there. Okay, I'm going to sell this widget. I'm going to buy this widget because of the experience that it gives. It's going to make my life. I'm going to buy this alarm system because it's going to make me feel safer, and I'm going to feel more secure, and my house is going to. They're going to go down the street to the next guy's house, not my house, because there's a sign out front and they can see a camera and it's an alarm system and all that kind of stuff. They get that. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the next house. That makes me feel secure, the experience of that, or the combination of them. You've heard me talk about that. You have to put yourself in that frame of reference if you're going to rank on the first page of Google. Otherwise, you're going to default to trying to rank for keywords for your website that have absolutely nothing to do with people looking for you. Number one mistake people make in SEO, local SEO, is ranking for stuff that nobody's looking for. Okay, I'm sorry, it just is. All right, so let's talk about ranking assets. Anybody got a question? If you want to ask a question or make a comment, hit *6 on your phone, introduce yourself so everybody else knows who you are, because there'll be people listening to this later who, they don't know who you are. They don't know you're on the site. I can see your name, or I can see your phone number. Okay, so, just introduce yourself. If you want to make a statement or got a question. One rule, though, or two rules, couple rules. I'm not talking about anybody else's business but your own, right? I'm only talking about your business. I'm not talking about somebody else's business. We're going to talk about Google properties and ranking your business, and that's pretty much it. Okay, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything to say about anybody else's stuff. Okay, now I'm authority on me and my stuff and what I know to do. That's it. I want to help you be authority on your stuff. I think you can share that. So, Linda, glad to have you. Marty, glad to have you. Scott, glad to have you. And I think Paul, I saw Paul just flag he was coming. But if you have a question, *6. If you're on your desktop or laptop, there is a button up there at the top that has a microphone. You just unmute that, okay? And I can unmute you. All right, so let's see who that was coming in. No, that's Scott. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, I was wondering, you were talking about getting a specific Gmail account. Now, I've already got a Gmail account, but of course it's not, what you're speaking toward. But I'm just curious, what is yours? Is it your name? Is it your name, or what is it?
Which one? Which one of the 50 are you making reference to? I have about 50 Gmail accounts.
Yeah, there you go. See, I got a bunch too.
Okay, so
my primary one.
Yeah, I think when you think about this for this, whatever it is you're trying to rank for, and of course some of us are all in this group. There's a particular product we want to sell, so that we want to put out there. So, but I'm going to use my wife's business as an example, and I think everybody can jump from there. Okay, so my wife is a Mary Kay representative. Okay, and so her Gmail account is Beauty Consultant in Conroe, because we live in Conroe. What is her business? A consultant. What is it she sells? Beauty product. Okay. People will look for that, and you know this by typing in that in the search engine in Google. Now, if in a new industry where you don't know, you have to think about how does a business owner think? What are they looking for? Like the site that I use for what this business I'm going to be doing is you get leads today. Why? Because I know business owners type in, how do I get leads in blank? And I'm probably going to create another Gmail account just for this to say, how do I get leads in Conroe? Or how do I get more customers in Conroe? I'm going to create several of them for that purpose. Okay, so maybe that answers your question, Scott. The one I'm using right now, for the demonstration is Near Me Marketing Bots, okay, associated with the Near Me part, because that's a Google term. Somebody else have a question or comment, something they want to put out here about what we're talking about so far? Again, I recommend to you that you use Google Sheets to keep track of all this, because I guarantee you, you will lose track of what account is what and what it's connected to and what you are using it for, right? And what you're using it for. Yeah, Linda, go ahead. Oh, you just turn it on the camera. I got you. Great. Okay, great. All right. Okay, so if you can see the screen that says ranking assets, for page 1. All right. So let's talk about we get our Google Gmail account set up, right? And there are several things you can do in that. If you've got the PDF, you can kind of look through there. You may already know how to use Google Gmail very well. Okay. There are a couple of features in there that you can do for that. Like in this case, if you are setting up your Gmail to be for a primary landing page where there is a response created, in other words, you want to tie it to send mail to. Okay. Like if somebody fills in a form and they mail it to, I know I have a script that on my landing pages, if they click on the image, it opens the app on their phone automatically, and with a pre-filled in subject line and message line, and all they have to do is click send. I get their email, and if they have a signature, I get everything they got on their email account sent straight to me. Okay. Well, when that comes to my inbox, my Gmail inbox, I also have that set up. You kind of have to trick Gmail into this, and I have an autoresponder that sends them a message back, right? It sends them a message back. So that's kind of how that works, right? So you can do that kind of thing with Gmail. Now, that's about as far as the autoresponder will go in Gmail, but at least you can give them a reply back and maybe send them to something else. Like I normally send them from there to a MailChimp. Okay, account where I actually get all their information. But I don't need to, because I've got most of their information that can be dumped right straight into a CRM, customer relation management program, where I can do emails, texting, phone calls, voiceless ring drops, or ringless voice drops to these people. So again, Gmail is powerful if you can use it. And set it up to be used, but you have to work with it. You have to make it work. It's not as simple as, say, MailChimp and autoresponder. You can't create a string of emails from it, but there are some things you can do to get started. So we get our Gmail set up, right, and we go from there, because you're going to need Gmail for everything else Google does. You have to have that Google account, right? So you can get a voice number for that. We hadn't talked about that, but you can get a voice number. But the first things I encourage you to do is do that, and then get your new business or whatever business you're going to be trying to market on the first page of Google. Get that done as Google My Business, right? And there was the outline on that. How do you go do that? How do you get that set up? Because you've got to get that card back so you can register Google My Business. It is a very powerful tool. If you use it properly, it can put you on the first page of Google almost instantly if you structure it properly. Okay, you structure it properly. That meaning, if the name of your business is Joe's Hot Dog Stand, and you make your Google map Joe's Hot Dog Stand, nobody's searching for Joe's hot dog stand. Okay, but you got to get it registered. Once you get it registered, come back and change the name to Great Places to Eat in Your Town, and just change that to the name, because when they type that in, it's going to show up. I guarantee you it'll show up. And it doesn't violate anything when you do that. Just go create it. Just get it done, and then you can basically stuff the description of your business in a Google Map system with awesome keywords, and they're not going to penalize you, not like a website. So just understand, Google Maps is important. Google My Business is important, and we'll talk about Google Maps at a later time. So again, if you have a question, you want to make a comment, *6, unmute yourself. If you're on a computer, click the little button up there and unmute yourself, and you can have a discussion. Any questions so far on any of that part that we've covered? Anybody? Okay, Marty.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Cool. All right. I just wanted to add a quick comment. how important it was, as you said, to treat whatever address you're putting in for your business address as Google sees it. I found out earlier today that even though the street name is 3 separate words, something, something road, Google Maps put the first 2 words together as if they were one.
Yep.
So that is was a shock to me, because the post office has it completely the other way, but we don't care about the post office. We only care about Google.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah.
So
yep.
that was it.
Yeah, that's a great observation, and this is why. Because as you begin to work on ranking this, and later I'm going to introduce to you to go get citations done, pay somebody $10 to go out and register your Google business with 20 to 50 citation sites. Okay, they're going to go and put you in Manta and all these other sites, all these directories. You have to have that exact address, exactly like that. Okay, and if you don't, Google will either ignore them or ignore you, and you don't want them ignoring you here. You put too much time and energy in it. So we'll be talking about that, but you got to get verified first. You got to get your site, your Google business verified. Okay, great point, Marty. Great point about the thing about what does Google call your street? If they don't call it street, don't name it street. I don't care how long you've been living on that street. Okay, that's just what's going to happen. All right, the next asset you want to create that we talked about today was Google+. Do you have any questions about a Google+ account? Google+ can be kind of mysterious because it's tied to so many things and it changes so many things, but it's a great place to start parking stuff every time you create something. In the sense of every time you create a video, it's going to post a video. Every time you create a blog and Blogger, you can put it over on your Google+ account. Every time you make connections to people, I think I showed that in the training. You type in your town. If you're looking for, if you're trying to do business with realtors, put realtors in your area, and you can go Google+ all the people that have Google+ accounts. And again, you may find out that's not many, but those can be precious. Those can be precious relationships that you develop with those people, because it's like somebody said. You want to be in a room full of 10,000 people, or do you want to be in a room with 10 people who will talk to you? That's the difference. Okay, so you can create that relationship by friending those people, one-plussing them, and start provide something to them that's worth their industry. So if you find an article, which we'll talk about Google Alerts later. If you don't know how to use Google Alerts, we'll talk about Google Alerts. And say you're looking for, you're dealing with a realtor and you're looking for, great house repair tips. Okay, you put that in Google Alerts, and every time there's an article appears somewhere in Google search, shows up great house repair tips, you can grab that in your Google Plus and share that through your Google Plus account with the realtor, saying, hey, I saw this great article and thought, as a realtor who deals with people trying to get their houses ready to sell, that this might be something you could pass on to them. And in other words, you add value to them by giving them something of value. You're not advertising your business. You're not trying to sell them something. You're just adding value to these people, because it's about a relationship. You're going to be better off with 10 people in the room who will pick up the phone every time you call them than okay, what just happened? Did I do something? Than being in a room of 10,000 people who don't know your name and don't want to know your name. Okay, I'm just telling you, the riches is in the niches, and it's also in the group of people that you create as loyal customers to you. It's not necessarily in the masses. So it can be, but it's not necessary. All right. So Google Plus. Any question about Google Plus? Okay, before you go any further in the process, it's something I hadn't shared yet, but I'll share it with this group, and then the other group can pick it up when I talk about it in the group. If you have PowerPoint or you have a Mac and you have Keynote, and I'd get PowerPoint even if I had a Mac, which I do, and I do have PowerPoint on it. I don't use Keynote that much. Is Google search all the dimensions of all the different places you think you're going to be posting a graphic. So like in Gmail, they want you to have a picture. So maybe you've got your picture on the other account. There's 50 Dean Renfros out there, and all those accounts, because I don't use my picture everywhere. Now I use some of them that I use all the time are pictures of me in various different, one's a blue shirt, one's a suit, one's got my all the logos from all the, citations and stuff I've been on, and I've been as seen on, as heard on stuff. Sometimes I'm facing right, sometimes I'm facing left. That's how I keep up with it. But then there's some accounts, my Google accounts, that some of them are women because it's a woman's name. Some of them are my robot. So you can use your business logo for that. Okay. But you're going to need that size. So you get all the sizes of things you need, and you go and create slides in PowerPoint, okay, for each one of those dimensions. So if you're going to put a Facebook header up, or you're going to put a Google Plus header up, or you're going to create one for YouTube, which you have to, well, you should. I would say that you don't have to. I've got a couple channels that you don't. But you go get that size and you just make a template in PowerPoint and save it. Then you can build it out with pictures or assets or colors or bars or whatever you want to in the header, okay, and just save it as a JPEG, and then you can upload it. That's that simple. So you can create a lot of your graphics with PowerPoint. Just get the dimensions that you need, and you can do all that. Okay? I hope that helps. Hope that was worth the phone call. So Google Plus, and then the process of using Google Sheets. We talked about that, and I hope that was clear. Do you understand? Google Sheets is basically Excel on steroids kind of approach. Well, not on steroids, on a reduced diet. Excel is steroids, kind of approach, but it will do a lot of things, and you want to use it to start saving stuff. Now, the reason I'm having you use that, as we start building out these assets, you're going to find that you can go back and create these Google properties and begin to embed stuff in them and use them as a backlink to your main site. Like Google Sheets, you can actually embed a video in Google Sheets, and that becomes a backlink with your keyword as the name of the file back to your YouTube, then back to your website. So we're going to create this big wheel of assets that help your local business rank, and it'll rank beyond local as well. I mean, I've already done that several times. So questions you might have so far? Anybody? Things you would like to see in the process of all this? Things I can help you with in all of that. It's your time. You tell me.
Hello.
Yep.
Just a word of warning again for avoiding the frustration. Great idea, by the way, of having the sizes pre-known and templates ready to go. But I think we discussed this the other day. The YouTube header banner, oh man, I mean, this has been going on for 3 years that I know of. They demand a gigantic picture, something like 2560 by 1840. If you try to put anything smaller than that, it says your picture's too small. So you go ahead and build one, as I did, to those dimensions, throw it up there, and all they show is a little sliver of it. So do that one last, perhaps, and be prepared to redo it about 10 times until you get at least something, if you want text or whatever in there, that it would show up in there. And be sure to click all 3 preview windows showing what it'll look like on a phone, a desktop, or a tablet, because they are radically different, even though they're calling for essentially the same dimensions for all of them. There's a tip.
Very true, Marty. Very true. Yeah, when I do the training on that, I will give you the hotspot for a desktop, okay, so that you can make sure if you're going to say something, or you're going to put your logo, or you're going to put words, that it fits in that little spot. Because yes, I have done that before myself. Took all the hair off my head that I have. Somebody else. I see somebody else unmuted himself.
It's Scott again.
Yeah.
So Yeah, I went through the first video. I think maybe I'm not sure if I got through all of it without last night. But was there a list? I didn't have a chance. I was busy all day, but there was a list in here on these properties and getting the card sent. That's from Google Maps, right? Or was that?
Yeah, from Google My Business.
Google My Business. Okay, I got it. Yeah, I have. I'm listed already on, but not based on the email. You know, the new email. So.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, if in other words, if like our home address has 3 businesses here. Okay, my wife's beauty consultant business is here. That's Suite A. Okay, and then one of my businesses that is seasonal business. It is here, and that is Suite B. All right, the new business will be Suite C or Suite D. You know, and that's okay, because Google's not trying to go. Well, wait a minute. There's not someone sitting somewhere going. Well, I mean, every once in a while they do verify them physically. They're not sitting there going, oh, you know what? That's not an apartment complex. That's not a business strip. That's somebody's house. Okay, they got too much to do to worry too much about that. So, but you want to rank this new business, and you want this new business on there as your primary buyer search words that's going to be done. So you want to create it for that, so you can stuff that description with those kind of descriptions. You might not want to do that for your quote unquote your other business unless you're just quitting all your other businesses and doing that. So you might think about it from that perspective. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
But you can't use. I will say this: you can't use the same address. They'll kick one out. They'll reject it. It's got to have a suite number on it or something to make it different.
Yeah, I live in an apartment, so I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work. They might send it down the block to the next guy. Now, one thing you can do, I will say this, one thing you can do is you can go rent like at the UPS store for 3 months, because they're never going to come back and check it. Okay, once you do it, that's done. It's done, because they know businesses move all the time. So you could go down to the UPS store that has, like 3515 West Davis Street, and then every box inside of there is actually number 121, number 122. So it treats it like an apartment. Okay, even though it's a post office box, it treats it like an apartment. So you could rent that for 3 months, say I think it's like $60, and because all you need to do is get the card. Okay, so that would be a way around that if you wanted to go that route. That's another way. Or if you know another business person really well, or you know a really good neighbor who doesn't live in an apartment complex, and say, hey, I need to borrow your address. I need to make a Suite A. This little white envelope's gonna come to you in the mail. Just make sure when it comes that you make sure I get it. It's got Google all over the outside of it, on the back of it. So just make sure I get that. Don't throw it away, please. And you could do that. I've had people do that before. So that's another way to do that. All right, somebody else. Question you might have, comment you want to make. Anyone? Okay, well, good. Like I said, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to keep you long. I'm not going to just belabor the points here for anybody. But if you can tell me if there's anything you would like to see coming down the road, things you'd like, okay, well, tell me how we're going to do this or how we're going to do that, or I've got a question about this component of this, okay? Because tomorrow there'll be several trainings on YouTube, everything from the graphic components to, how you set your channel up, how you set a playlist up, how you set it up to be your keywords, how you set up your descriptions in your videos so that your videos have authority already, so that when you get ready to do this, you can start adding all these assets to your description in your video, and then we'll talk to you about how that works. So if you've got questions for a few things, let me know if you want to. Okay, cool.
if you haven't done the assignment yet, to list all the buyer words that you can think of, 30 terms of them, at least 30. So we're getting well over the 400, 450 mark of them. Once we kind of get everybody done, gets all that done, I'll release that list so you can, there's some people are turning in some awesome terms that help you think about another. In other words, you just change out the niche and put yours in there, and you'll be like, oh wow, that's going to be great. Yeah, that's how I would search for that, because we tend to go with what we know and not think outside the box about that, and not, like I say, not think like a person that's sitting out there really wanting to buy this, because we're already convinced of it. So we don't always get creative with that. We're going to talk about that. Let's see what else. So we'll focus on that the next couple of days to make sure that works for everybody. Like I say, if there are people that you know that you think that this course would benefit, be sure, if you don't mind sharing that with them. That there's the webinars and the link. You can share the webinar link with them. It's not exclusive to this group. In other words, it's because it's not a part of this group, you can share that link to go register and watch the first webinar where I talk about, ranking on the first page of Google and all that. Let me know if you want to share that with people. I will split it with you if you want to go do that and get people a part of this. Especially if you know people outside our industry that we're working in, some of us here. That would be fine. In other words, other small business owners that that maybe across the country from you that say, hey, this probably would help your business. I will work with you on that, and that way you can recoup some of your cost. That way you can maybe get all your costs back if you refer 2 or 3 people. All right, so you can do that as well. You just have to let them know you sent them. And I will watch for them and let you know that. So, cool. Appreciate all of you being here in the group. Appreciate your support and coming along and being a part of this. And hopefully it is going to be highly helpful to you as you do this. And it helps you rank your business where you get more business and more sales for your business so that you can live your dream with and live it out the way you want to live it out. All right, any other questions before we go? And I'm gonna get out of here. We've been just right at right at 30 minutes. I mean, I'll stay as long as anybody wants to shoot the breeze, but everybody else might not want to do that. So, anybody else? Okay, was it simple? Let me ask this question. I'd like to get an answer back from everybody. Was the process of using this service, was it easy enough to do, and is what you're seeing as far as the screens are concerned, is all that working for everybody? And don't everybody tell me at once. Or at all. Okay, Marty.
No, it was great, although my wretched phone carrier, I was not able to use the dial-in number. Although I live on my desktop anyway, so no big deal. The voice and video was clear. Everything was fine. This seems like a good platform.
Okay. Yeah, Linda said she likes it much better than Facebook. By the way, if you didn't know that there's a chat box up there too, that little circle. I'm sorry I didn't explain that earlier. There's a chat box up there. If you see it, the little circle that looks like a conversation, you can click on that and type in it. I should have told everybody that if you're on your desktop. If you're on your phone, you're basically on your phone, and you have *6 and *6 to talk and *6 to mute, and that's pretty much what you got. So if you want to, evidently, Scott, for you, how did that work? Easy to get in? Scott Johnson? Okay, who is that? Is that Paul?
That was me, yes.
Oh, okay, Paul. I thought that looked like your number. So was it easy to get in? Everything?
I've been out of the loop
yep.
for all day today. So where are you guys now, and where do I pick up whatever you put out for new homework?
Yeah, in the Rankin Banking group, in the coaching group, there is several documents under files that if you look under the file section up there, they're ordered, lesson number 1, lesson number 2, lesson number 3, lesson number 4, and anything that goes along with that is on those sheets. And all you got to do is click on that document, open it, and the YouTube video's there. If there's a PDF, it's there. If there's a link to a form, it's there. So it's pretty much all right there inside the group, and I'll just keep adding that as lessons go along.
Okay, cool.
And there's also kind of there's a poll at the top of the page for you to kind of click when you complete it. So I know, okay, here's this person's done it, this person's done it. Okay, this person hadn't done it yet. Do I need to help you? There's something, are you working 5 jobs and trying to squeeze this in or that kind of thing, so I can help everybody kind of know where they're at in the process.
Okay, I found it.
All right.
Excellent.
Thanks. Yeah. So you didn't have any trouble dialing in? Everything worked cool?
Everything worked fine.
Great. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Everybody else, Linda liked it. She was on earlier with her camera, so that works for if you want to jump on and talk to people live, you can do that. I can give it like she just did. And Linda, wave at everybody. Let everybody know you're there. Yeah, okay. All right, Linda. So you could also do that, and participate as well. If you had something you wanted to share on your screen, if you had an idea that you wanted to use, so Linda, go ahead. Uh-oh, we can't hear you. Unmute your mic on your headset.
Is that better?
Yeah, there we go.
I use it all the time, but still don't know how to use it. I like this much better than Facebook Live. You don't have the stop and go, the filter or the shakiness that comes in it. It is just so much better. And I actually did the voice over internet so that I could listen to everything right here on the computer. I didn't have to call in with a phone. It worked great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda. Appreciate that. So, and also, of course, I'm recording this so that the people who don't attend or aren't able to attend, like I know Sheila Jordan, her one of her kids is going off to college in a day or so, so she's like frantic mom trying to get everything put together, and get the kid off to school, and the other couple of people were working, and so on the road and that kind of thing. So this makes it easy for them to come back and listen and watch, and they see everything that we, were able to see. So the graphic is fine. You can see the graphic okay. That's all right. It's big enough for everybody and that kind of thing. Awesome. Okay, so that's kind of how this program works. I love it. I would encourage you this. It is, here's the great thing. It's free. It's free. All of this is free. So if you, yeah, there you go. Exactly. It's free. The conference call is free. The video part, it's all free. It doesn't cost a dime. So you just go to freeconferencecall.com and register it, and you can use it. You can do all mobile. You don't have to let people, use their desktops. In the sense of having a camera, you can block all that. You can do all kind of things with it. You can record it, download it, upload it to somewhere else, add notes to it. You can have handouts with it. All kind of things you can do with it, and it's free. Did I mention that it's free? Okay. All right. Just I'm always trying to help business people make more money by not spending money. That's another great way to make more profit. So hope that worked out for everybody. All right. Thanks for everybody being on here. And again, if you want to encourage, if you know people that could be a part of this group, and you want to refer them, I will work with you to do that so that you can earn their money back. Besides all the money you're going to earn by being on the first page of Google. All right. Anybody else got any more questions before we go? All right, everybody. Thanks for being on here. We will talk to you soon. Post your questions in the group if you have them. And again, thanks for being here. We will talk to you soon. Rank it and bank it. Get on that first page of Google. See you later.